Hi gang, so in this video, I'm going to be doing another long-awaited palette battle. In this episode, we're going to be pitting the Nabla Secret palette against the Anastasia Beverly Hills in collaboration with Carli Bybel palette. So this is the Carli Bybel palette and this is the Secret palette. So you can tell just by looking at these two palettes that they do have some overlapping shades. There is a red, there is a type of mid-tone to deep shimmery purple, there's some gold and browns. Some iridescent shades that look quite similar in the pan. The lighter shades, for example, and a dusty kind of mid-tone pink. However, you can probably also tell that this secret palette from Nabla has kind of deeper shades than the Carli Bybel palette. I'm going to be focusing on the shades that look quite similar in the pan and see how they perform against each other. So once again, I'm going to be trying to recreate two very similar looks. I won't be telling you which eye I'm doing with which palette just yet until the end. In the meanwhile, you can judge for yourself which palette you think is performing better on the eye. And I would love to know your thoughts, so please vote down below which palette you think won in the end. The winner of this battle will be decided by your vote, which is 70% of the vote, and my vote, which will be 30% of the vote. I will also be announcing the winner of my previous palette battle, which was the Nomad palette by Juvia's Place versus the Gemini palette by Nabla Cosmetics. So stay tuned for that. All right, so let's just get started. I've already drawn on my brows a little bit, not too refined, but I'm going to prime my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in the original formula. Okay, gang, so this is the finished look. Let me zoom you in just so that you can see the difference between both of the eyes. So there we go. This eye I did with the first palette, and this one I did with the second palette. This one is definitely a little bit more intense. This is just a little bit softer. So which eye do you think looks better? Which palette do you think performed better? All right, so now I'll let you know which eye was done with which palettes. This eye, which is my right eye, was done with the Secret palette by Nabla. This eye, which is my left eye, was done with the Carli Bybel palette in collaboration with Anastasia Beverly Hills. In terms of the application process of the eyeshadows in both of these palettes, I don't think any of the shadows performed poorly. I think perhaps the Secret palette just has deeper, richer colors. And with this, with the Carli Bybel palette, the shimmers are all very pretty. They perform very well. The mattes in their own right perform nicely. I just think that this palette could do with more variance in terms of the depths of the shade. So right here, there are a lot of kind of mid-tone to light tone shades. And this one is kind of a mid dark tone. It's not really deep, deep dark. If I compare the swatches between Me Coupla and Boy, I think it's Boy. I'm not sure if this is pronounced correctly. This shade from the Secret palette by Nabla is definitely warmer, and I guess it complements my skin tone a bit better. I think to complement the rest of the shades, if this was slightly warmer, I would like it better. I tried to mix these two shades together just to get this shade to be a little bit warmer to match up with this one. It brought it a little bit closer, but it's not an exact match. I think perhaps this palette could have done away with maybe this shade, Bolly, and replaced it with a deeper, warm type of matte shade. It doesn't necessarily have to be brown. That's what I think of the palettes. In terms of the application, I didn't have problems with either of the formulas. In terms of the rest of my face makeup, I went for, I mixed in a couple of shades on the lips. Shout out to Mas. Hi, Mas. She's a good friend of mine back in Singapore. She sent some Catkin lipsticks, and this one is in the shade CO5. Very, very bright. When sheared out, it's very neon. It's almost like a pinky red type of shade. I mixed that in with the shade My Main by Dose of Colors. This was, I think this is the Desi and Katy, some sort of collaboration. So I mixed those two shades to create this shade. I have been looking around for peach colored lipsticks. It's usually a little bit too light, a bit too, dare I say, chalky. After mixing these two, I've managed to create something that is kind of this perfect mid-tone peach. And I think it's very flattering. The winner of the previous palette battle is the Nomad palette by Juvia's Place. I pitted that against the Gemini palette by Nabla Cosmetics. When I look back at the footage of both of the eye looks, I think that the Nomad palette by Juvia's Place just looked a little bit more vibrant and interesting. I really do think that the Nomad palette is a little bit more versatile because it does have a couple of shimmers that actually perform well. In the Gemini palette, these two shimmers, this shimmer and this shimmer, they are not good at all. I don't like the way they perform. In terms of the matte formula, I do enjoy the ones in this palette. But I wouldn't really use this palette by itself. I usually will have to pair it with something else because I really, really like my shimmers. I guess it comes down to personal preference. But then again, if this palette comes with two shimmers, you know, they should perform well. I'll put up the scores for both of the palettes. 2 people voted for the Nabla Cosmetics Gemini palette. 4 people, I think, voted for the Nomad palette by Juvia's Place, and I also voted for the Nomad palette by Juvia's Place. So that is pretty much it. So I hope you found this video interesting and informative. Please don't forget to vote down below which palette you think won. Was it the Secret palette or was it the Carli Bybel palette? This weekend, Martin and I are driving up to Nagold. We're going to settle a few of the wedding details. I'm gonna get my hair done, attended to, try out a bridal style for my hair, and we're going to look at the actual venue of the wedding and sort out the logistics of live streaming and so on. And another major thing we're going to do is get Martin fitted for his suit. He looks fantastic in a suit. I've always liked him wearing suits, although it's uncomfortable for him and he doesn't like it as much. But yeah, that's going to be fun. The wedding is coming up really, really soon. It's going to be about 6 weeks till we're married. I actually can't believe I'm saying this. You know, I kind of phase it out most of the time. But yeah, it's becoming more and more real, which is exciting and a bit nerve-wracking. And yeah, I'm going to be filming a music-inspired makeup look soon. As requested by Mas, a wedding music inspired makeup look. Yeah, okay. So that's it from me, and ciao for now.